I think it's interesting, given how much success you've now had, to talk about what you learned from some of the struggles, one of which was, I think, the Skate Dreams movie, or Street Dreams. Yeah. You end up having to pay the theaters to, air the movies. Why do you think that didn't work out, and what did you learn from that?
Oh, man, I tell you what, that was on some, like, balls to the wall, like, next level move, right? So I decided I wanted to write a skateboard feature film out of the idea of, like, all these corny feature films keep happening, right? Like, skateboarding is always made to look so stupid in film. So I wrote a treatment, right? Took it all around, and nobody had any interest. Like, you gotta get a writer, I was like, oh man, like, I gotta get a writer, like, and then one of my friends was like, oh, I write scripts. And I'm like, man, what? I've known you for 7 years. I've never heard you once mention you are a screenwriter.
Don't tell me you hired him.
And this kid produces a screenplay that he's written. I'm like, what the hell? So I send it to, like, an agent that I know. This is pure San Diego, way before Hollywood, and they're like, yeah, it's actually pretty good. So I set out on a journey, 4 months of him at my house in San Diego, where I would pace every day and just fire dialogue. And we wrote this entire movie. Now it's like, I wrote a script, right? So now I take it back to the agent, man, I wrote a script. They're like, it's too core. Like, there's no, like, this would never work, and it's like, it's a skateboard movie, and there's all this and all this stuff. You can't do that. I'm like, that. This is like keeping it real, right? So then I find a producer friend of mine who I'd produced a short with, who was like I could produce a movie. I'm like, you're my guy. Let's produce this shit. So then he puts together a budget. It was $750,000, and so the budget was $750 to cut. I could go into the depth of this, but I'll cut it short. $750,000 budget. I ended up spending $1.8 million of my own money. Never got any help, never asked for help. That's how over budget it was. Nobody would distribute it or give me any type of deal because it was rated R with all the and the cursing and all this. It's a beautiful movie outside of all the cursing. Nobody would give me any distribution, and I was like, man, this, man, this thing's going to theaters. I don't win unless this thing's in theaters. So I four-walled the thing and then put it in like 30 theaters, and then did like a nationwide tour where I went and did signings to like promote it in every city that I went to. And I think, I can't remember what the money that it earned back. It didn't matter because it went to the guys that I four-walled it with anyway. But now, however many years later, I want to say maybe 2 months ago, I was going through my financial stuff for the month, and there was a check in there. There was in one of the entries for Street Dreams, it was like $17. And I was like, man, what is this? And they're like, oh yeah, you got a check for iTunes sales. I'm like, what? This is major. So yeah, that's the journey.
For more clips from this interview, visit GrahamBensinger.com.